internet land, it's I, Art the American Dream Fields, coming at you with another installment of Vampires in Daylight. We got a special guest today, as usual, not our buddy, Reverend Rich. Come on down.
Happy 4th of July.
Oh yeah, it's the 4th of July.
Today is 2014, July 4th, which is, we figured it out, it's the 238th?
239?
238. It'd be 238th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
And not least,
And
not
not
most.
on the east side. How are you?
And
Yeah,
so,
Art, Steve.
And that cowboy.
yeah.
Steve, the Midnight Cowboy Joiner.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
238th. I'll tell you guys why I know this. Is because I was born in 1976, and I'll be 38.
Oh.
And so, just always see, like, when I'm 38,
Yeah.
when I'm 37, etc., etc.
Right, you were born on the
I was a
200
bicentennial
Yeah,
kid is what I
wow.
was.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, 1976.
Wow, cool.
Anyway, before we get into the greatness of me and the show, which is now on our 50th episode.
Woo.
Now that's a big deal to us if it's not a big deal to you, because this was an idea that was birthed over a year ago between Art and myself, and you know, he was talking about it and I kind of lagged. He's like, no, let's do it. I'm like, I don't know. And then he got the production meetings going and Arthur lit the fire. So this is really Art's baby. And we got it going, and then we had to think about getting a set, where to live, blah, 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 just all these things that came into play. And then Richard here, who I've known for years, and then I got to know, we all got together, and that's the way we became the fucked up bar.
Hold on. Hold on.
No.
But what we got to do first is what we do at the top of every show.
Check-ins.
Check-in time. Number 1 to 10. 10 to 1. 1 being homicidal, suicidal. 10 being fabulous. Absolutely marvelous. Ready to paint the town purple because you ran out of red ink the other day.
And our guest always goes first. So what number are you at, Richard?
Oh, I'd say I'm at least a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good number here.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Well, you know, can I say something
Yeah.
about the show last night? We watched on TV. Fox News had a special about proud to be an American. And they had all kinds of people on there and talking about their ancestry, where they came from, their roots, and whether their parents, you know, were working class or whatever. And it was just so inspiring that I says, Art, you know, I'm ready to do a show because this is inspiring.
Yeah, you've been kind of away
This
from
is
us
what-
for a while. You haven't been around.
Well, I've been busy working, you know. I work, you know, and
Richard
I'm
is-
a handyman contractor, too. So besides being a minister, the minister is a volunteer thing. I don't-
You know you have
a
been
salary.
You have been in 7 episodes.
7.
You were
that's
with us from the
pretty good.
beginning, and you kind of St. Patty's Day. You've been with us, Richard.
Anyway, so I was so lifted up by that show,
Uplifted.
uplifted and inspired, because nobody had anything negative to say about America.
And that's a first.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it
Were you
was
guys
like,
waiting for someone to start bad-mouthing in the program? Were you-
well, then can I bring up the Creedence Clearwater song?
talk about everything. you
Talk
want,
about
man.
it, man.
Let it
Oh,
out there.
I have it right here. And so, and Art says, well, I was thinking about CCR, Creedence Clearwater, remember?
Yeah.
And
What song were you thinking about, Art?
Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son. It ain't me.
I'm sorry.
No, that's Bob Dylan. There you go.
I
You
ain't
found
no.
it.
Anyway,
Richard's got a habit of wandering off the set. every
well,
time.
I had to find this.
Okay.
Anyway, but this was very interesting
Fortunate Son.
because I can make some comments about this.
Well, Richard,
Whoa.
let's finish checking in.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
I'll tell you,
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm gonna let me and him are checking in.
Yeah.
Read that and tell us what you want to talk
Yeah.
about. Okay. So, Art, what are you at today?
Coming in at a 5. Even kill.
Why so?
My leg is still hurting. My feet hurt. My leg hurts. I'm a little hungry. and it's a little late in the day for me right now. We're filming in the afternoon, so I used to film it in the morning.
It's usually being downloaded by this time. But
Yeah, it should be uploading right now, but we've been
filming later in the afternoon.
it's a holiday, and so I don't know. I really don't feel like filming right now, but I got a gun pointed to me that you can't see.
Behind, and
Yeah.
the medium went postal.
Anyway, but I'm at a 5 right now. Hopefully it's going up, though. It's going up. I'm hoping we can play some apples to apples tonight.
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. We're gonna have Gary over.
Yeah, that's 4
Well,
people.
let's get you. Let's get you up. Okay.
Yeah.
I am at a number 8.
Cool. Wow.
I'll tell you why I'm at a number 8. Even though my heart was shattered into a million pieces by a Southern woman a couple weeks ago, and even though things have been hard, I've come to realize something, and that is that I have some really good friends. A year and a half ago, I had really nobody. I was a recluse. I wouldn't do anything like this. I did acting, but that was different, and I actually fell out of that about 5 years ago. I fell out of acting, and I was taking care of my mom, and she died, and then I thought, well, I'm dead too. But I realized that if she was alive, she'd want me to keep going forward. So I got Richard, Art, Dave, and then Rambo, just these people I reconnected with. But I mean, these people were with me for days.
What about your cousins?
My cousins too. I'm getting to everybody here. Everybody's getting love today, except you, Canada. Fuck you. You ain't getting no love.
Canada?
Yeah. Anyway, no. In all
They
seriousness,
got that round bacon, Rich.
I have
And they say a boot.
I have
A boot.
I have 3 best friends. 2 of them are sitting right here today. These 2
Wow.
guys.
Wow.
Art's like the brother I never had, and Richard's like the uncle I was afraid of and never had, but still liked him. And
Uncle Alfred?
yeah, we don't talk about it.
Uncle,
I wanna
Uncle
stay
Albert? Albert, the guy that floated up in the ceiling in Mary
Yeah,
Poppins?
exactly. And
Cool.
so, and then I reconnected with my cousins back east. I still have maybe a shred of, I don't want to turn into a pillar of salt, but I think the rose may not be dead. And I'll just say that part, okay?
He's dead.
Well, you know what, if it is, then I'm going to plan a new one. And we're at our 50th episode. This is a fucking big thing for me. You don't realize, Art and I, and even this guy here, and it looks like all fun and games, we're sitting here, blah, 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 and all that, but you know what? Man, it's some hard work. This shit is not easy right here. I don't even think the owner of this house knows we're here every day. I'm not just kidding.
I'm the owner of the house.
I know. But I just wanted to say, if I never get to a number 8 again, that I appreciate the hell out of you and Arthur.
Well, thank you, Steve. Wow.
You guys keep me from
Why don't you guys hug?
picking up toy guns and shooting folk,
Sure. You want
Why
to
don't you
hug?
give
You
him
want
a
to hug
hug?
right now?
I'll give you a hug.
Little
All
hug.
right. All right.
Art,
God bless you.
I'll bump the rock, buddy.
bump the rock.
All right.
Anyway, so we don't really have a bunch of news today. We got just a really what is to be an American is our story today.
Yeah, that's the story today. Is we're going to talk about how do we feel, what do we think about it is to be an American. But to start this off, this is what it is to be American. Everybody sits back and relax. We're going to hear from our friend, our homie, Pepe Sanchez.
Take it away.
Orale, jefe. It is I, Pepe Sanchez, that does the news for Vampire and Daylight, also known as Vindle. I'm Pepe Sanchez with my pulse on the nation. Here I am in Washington, D.C., and today's top news for all you people out there, it's the 4th of July. Orale, it's freedom for freedom's sake. But they've been saying freedom isn't free. And I've seen these fucking guys in the desert, these army guys wearing all this armor and plating. And I just gotta give it up for the troops that are keeping us free. And yeah, that's one thing I'm glad about on this 4th of July. I'm also glad for the concept of freedom of speech. And I will have to I will. I don't know. Because of freedom of speech, I get to say words like cabron, fuck you, puto, all kind of certain words that on the average day you just don't hear. Or you do hear it. But people like to say it like they don't hear these words anymore, and it's like offensive, and it's like, orale. We're gonna send you back over to the studio because I'm done with talking about the 4th of July. I love it in America. Adios.
He's cool. Have you seen him before?
No, I don't see him here.
Whoa,
Don't worry, Rich.
Is he imaginary?
No. He's a real deal. You'll see him later on. We got an editing thing where the news feed. He's on a different country's time zone right now.
Okay. I thought he was on a higher plane, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, he's on a higher plane.
Yeah, that's
clairvoyance.
So what do you higher plane? So what do you
Well, let's go back to Rich.
Why don't we sing "America the Beautiful"?
We're gonna, Richard.
Not
Right
yet.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Okay.
We're gonna okay.
We're gonna go back to this Fortunate Son.
Yeah, no Coke or Pepsi. We're gonna dissect a song today. And the Coke or Pepsi in this one is, you ready for this? Do you think it's good or bad? That's your Coke or Pepsi right there for this song.
Boo.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why don't I just say some of the words?
Okay.
Of Fortunate
So,
Son?
Fortunate Song by CCR.
Because after we had seen this
What year was that written, by the
beautiful-
way?
Well, let me. Can I set it up a little bit more?
1969.
Groovy. Go ahead, Art.
Is that no? Like Rich said, is we're watching this thing on Fox News, and it's like all these cats are saying how much they love America.
And they're very successful people. They're high profile. They're newscasters and senators and people you've seen on TV.
Yeah, doctors, lawyers, the
People
cream
you-
of the crop.
Was
People
Brian
you've seen
Gumble on
on
that by
TV.
chance?
No,
Um,
he's not on Fox.
Geraldo Rivera?
no, they had people that weren't on Fox.
Hey, what'd you guys find out about Geraldo you never knew?
He's part Russian.
Part Russian?
I mean, his one side's Russian, the other side's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
I always thought he was Puerto Rican straight out.
Yeah. But
Okay, so song's called Fortunate Son. Go ahead, Richard. Just,
well, you realize now this was written during the Vietnam War,
Vietnam War.
and
read a little bit of it and tell us what you think. Okay, start reading it.
some folks are born made to wave the flag. Oh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays "Hail to the Chief," they point the cannon right at you. Oh, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator's son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son. Okay, the next verse. Some folks are born silver spoon in hand. Lord, don't they help themselves, but when the tax man comes to the door, Lord, the house looks like a rummage sale. It ain't me, it ain't me, I ain't a millionaire's son. Some folks inherit star-spangled eyes. Oh, they send you down to war. And when you ask them how much should we give, the only answer is more, more, more.
Okay, stop
ain't
you right
me.
there.
I ain't no military son.
Now, Art, Richard, what do you think from those lyrics? Is this sarcasm towards like hippies saying, nah? I mean,
Should I go first?
yeah,
right
please
ahead,
do.
sir.
'Cause
Well, it's kind of a little anti-war, you know.
is it anti-American?
Well, I don't know if it's anti-American because we have freedom of speech. We have a right to express our freedoms. We have a right to express our opinions. And he's just saying, okay, if you're a poor boy, you're the one that's going to get drafted. I think maybe they're saying that.
Oh, I know what I'm going to say about this.
Of course, I have more to say about being born with a silver spoon, but a little bit later. But it's a little bit, it's about the signs of the times, I think. In the 60s, when there was anti-war sentiment and all this, and
I'm bubbling.
I think that's 1969. That, you know, so it was a reflection of the time. Okay.
Art?
About the song?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it just popped in my head, Fortunate Son. Like, I'm looking at John McCain.
He's a military man.
Military man,
Dad
third
was in that,
generation.
Yeah.
He was third generation military, and now he's a senator.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bred to be a fortunate son.
A military man. But he was willing to go to war, and he spent, what, 6 years in the POW camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And that wasn't real fortunate.
I don't care how much.
You'd say.
Yeah, I don't care how many millions you have. You're in a fucking camp. That's hell. He can't even raise his arms, right? Or something.
Yeah, because they beat him and stretched him from
Is
the
that all you got to say
rafters.
about this, sir?
Well, no, then I started thinking, am I a fortunate son?
Yeah.
Just to be born in America, am I fortunate?
Yeah.
And like, even though I'm not rich, that's not what America's all about. America's not about being rich and powerful. America's about believing in God.
Believe in God.
I mean, for me, that's what America is. Believing in God, family values, loving thy neighbor as you would yourself. Very, very, I don't know, I got some Christian values that I like. I mean, I joke around a lot on the show. I use vulgar language. I joke around, but when it comes down to the end of the day, I'm proud to be an American because we're allowed to broadcast this crazy shit that we're broadcasting here because of freedom of speech. I mean, freedom of speech is like one of the one tenets that me and my co-host over there, the Midnight Cowboy, really like. We want to say what we want to say the stuff that the guy from the Man versus Food can't say.
Yeah.
From the who? Man versus...
We'll get
Man
to that.
versus
We're not
food.
politically correct. We don't really have anything, so we have nothing to lose. So therefore, you know,
I got stuff to lose.
well, not me. I'm the anti-hero in this one, okay? All I know is this, okay, so, do you have anything else to say on that, or you
Well,
want
no, you can go ahead and start
Okay.
talking.
That's bullshit right there. Okay,
This is all
yeah. No, not bullshit. I don't mean like that. I like CCR, don't get me wrong.
I've always
Okay,
loved
here's a problem I have with artists out of the 60s, okay? With songs like that. John Lennon was the biggest protagonist of them all right there, okay?
Wow, he's coming down on John Lennon.
Hell yeah, John Lennon. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, John Lennon singing about Vietnam, poverty, blah, 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 blah. I'm not unfortunate. I'm so surprised Lennon never sang that song. Yet he was worth over $700 million at the time of his death. He owned 3 homes. He lived very materialistically. And I'm guessing these cats were living pretty good when they recorded this song.
High on the hog.
High on the Hog.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah,
they
they
were
were-
successful.
Okay, so, are you appealing to who were you rebelling against or who you're appealing to? Because if I'm a hypocrite, if I live in a multi-million-dollar mansion, I'm bitching about poverty and starvation, unless I'm out there experiencing it. I asked Art the other day, I said, what's a very unique way of getting a perspective on things? He said, go homeless for a week. Remember that, Art? And it's true. I think what I liked about punk rock, for instance, is because punks were guys that actually lived, they kind of lived the life they were talking about.
Keeping it real, son.
Keeping it real. Okay, so I love Creedence Clearwater Revival. I think this song, though, you know, it ain't me, I ain't no fortune, son. Okay, you're stirring up a pot, you know, which is fine, you know, but you're not a really legitimate spokesperson for poverty when you guys are living.
No, were they rich when they wrote the song?
Oh yeah, this was later.
They only came out with one album.
No, they John Fogerty, come on, Art. These guys are.
This is when they were just beginning, though.
Yeah, look at the change they made on it, man. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's just like, it's there. It is what it is. And another thing too. Now they're bitching about silver spoons in hand. They're talking about senator sons and all that.
Military side.
Military sons. Now here's a point that I want to point out. Now I used to be jealous of the rich kid growing up, you know, and I knew quite a few of them. I knew kids that Commissioner of the Police son, his son I knew. Guy that worked in North Island, his son, they were military kids. I knew privileged kids. Then I realized something very interesting. These kids are privileged from outside looking in. But you know what? Like you guys said, McCain, I doubt that they're like, okay, we're going to baby your ass. No, I think they made McCain go through everything else like everybody. Did they? Did he not go through boot camp and go through the whole...
Oh, yeah.
Why are we criticizing people who are successful? I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Born with silver spoons in hand. I don't know. JFK Jr. had this. I think that song goes more to nowadays than it did then. You get the Kardashians, people like that, who just have this entitlement.
What's wrong with the big booty hoes?
They have this entitlement issue who've done nothing. My daddy did this, you know. I'm thinking make your own mark in the world, and I think that we're saying McCain was fortunate. A couple other guys you mentioned, but you know what?
Well, one of the stories that
Was
got
it
me.
given to them, or were they put to the test?
One of the stories that got me was this guy that was a doctor, and he came over. His parents gave him up to foster care to come to America, and even though he was in foster care, he got the opportunities to become a doctor.
Right.
So he was.
Yeah, that was on the show last night.
Yeah, that was
You
on the
talking
show.
about
last
Benjamin
night.
Carson?
No. Some Cuban doctor.
He was from Cuba. Oh yeah, he was from Cuba. I
Yeah, he
remember
was from
that.
Cuba.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. There are some people on there that I respected, and some people on the show I was like, yeah, you're a clown face. Get away. And it's like, I don't know. And then I don't know. It just got me and Rich like motivated to be an American.
Okay, what I'm saying is like McCain, for instance, when he was a kid, do you think his father was like, okay, I'm not going to have you do any work, I'm going to give you a shitload of money and you can do whatever you want? I'm sure McCain Sr. is like, no, you're going to go in the military and you're going to be a
Well, he was in a military family, and
It's like you
I soloed the T2 at
Yeah, he
McCain
has a
Field in Meridian, Mississippi,
Uh-huh.
in '66. And I didn't know McCain as a buddy. He was a flight instructor.
But he probably paid some dues. To
And
yeah.
we knew who he was because we knew the field was named after his grandfather.
But did he have this entitlement issue?
But, you know, we knew who he was, but this was before he became famous. But, you know, the VC didn't give him much when he got shot
6
down.
years. I don't care how much wealth and privilege you've had as a child. If you're in a bamboo hut for 6 years, being tortured, fuck that.
Yeah, and I wanted to say something more about this too, because I knew a friend, and when I had a study group for the Teaching of the Antichrist in Phoenix, Arizona, and he was born with a silver spoon.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He never had to work a day in his life. He was very intelligent, and he was about my age. I think he was. At the time, this was '76, so he was like
The trust
20.
fund baby, that sort of thing? Or?
Well, his grandfather had invented the parking lot in L.A. back in like 1904 or
Ooh,
something.
they paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Well, you know, when they first started getting automobiles, this was a new thing because with horses, you put them in barns and livery stables. You had to take care of them.
Yeah.
But cars, you could just park them out on the street, leave them for a couple days or something. So the story was that he invented the parking lot in Los Angeles
What was this guy's name?
and made a lot of money.
What was his name?
Well, his last name was Hoffman.
so there was a guy named
So
Hoffman.
his grandfather, and I don't know if his grandfather was on his maternal side or not, if his name was Hoffman, but
parking lot was invented.
this man was born with a silver spoon. He was very intelligent. He got all A's in college, but he was very introverted. He had a lot of challenges in life. He had visions and goals. He was into computers at that time. This was like '76.
Ooh.
And his whole life was, his project in life was to write a complete book of all knowledge, which is like beyond encyclopedias.
How'd that go over?
Because he was into spiritual things. And he wanted to include all kinds of spiritual religions and, you know, different groups, and you know, he had a very, I would say he was a genius.
So what
I'm
happened?
sure he was.
What happened?
Anyway, but he had the silver spoon. He never had to work a day in his life. But ultimately, even though things were getting better, and he would counsel with me and I'd pray with him, and he manifested things. He manifested a girlfriend. And
Does
he
he
was
still-
the kind of guy that was...
Did you learn how to do that by any chance?
Yeah.
Manifest a Girlfriend?
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
I
know
was
that.
kind of an experienced man of the world at the time. I'd been in the Navy. I'd, been, a naval officer and a pilot and lived overseas for years. But anyway, but ultimately, somehow he got very distraught and committed suicide.
There you go.
And that's like, ooh, an ultimate rejection of self.
I guess he felt like a one.
He felt like a one, and it was very hard. It was very, wow, Roger. I mean, because he had a girlfriend, and he had never had a girlfriend before.
Well, there you go.
But I read about suicide then, and the book I read said, a lot of times people commit suicide when they're on the upswing.
Oh yeah.
This is true.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was watching Mysteries and Scandals today, and it's always like when their career's in the crapper, that's when they do it.
Well, but this book said a lot of times people will be on the upswing, things will be going great, and out of the blue. But anyway, see, and I thought about my life, like I grew up on a farm. My parents had to work. I mean, they were what you'd call dirt farmers in Kansas, always rented the house we lived in and the farm we worked at. Dad did own another farm with his brother, and then he bought another 160 acres. But anyway, I thought, man, we used to go out and work, put up them hay bales and sweat and
Would you trade it?
get up and milk the cows. Well, I thought about work, and at the Teaching of the Antichrist, we talk about work and how work and worship and worth
3 W's.
all come from the same root word, and how blessed we are that we have to work, because sometimes, and this not only applies to like somebody like Roger, my friend, who's passed over, and Roger, God bless you where you're at up there, and but if you study and read about, say, famous actors' sons or famous people's sons.
Yeah, I hate that shit, man. Those people
some of
always-
those people have a rough time.
I know, but it's the
Because-
ones that exploit their famous parents that piss me off right there.
Well, but some of them have a very hard time finding their own self direction.
I'll
They
give
will have-
you that. I'll give
They
you
will
that.
have a very hard time finding themselves away from the shadow of their famous
Yeah, I'll give you that.
or rich.
Yeah, but if they embrace it, it's a
father
cash
and
cow
mother.
and a celebrity and a media cow for them to milk, man, they'll do it. That's
Yeah, but
I listen.
have they really found themselves?
No, they're plastic people who are materialistic.
Have
And,
they really found
I don't know,
themselves?
Art, what do you think?
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
You kind of drifted off.
Yeah, I drifted off.
Oh, okay.
Art's been kind
Anyway,
of,
we were talking about sometimes famous people or rich people's offspring.
Oh,
They don't have an easy way because they need to find their own way, and sometimes it's very difficult for them.
Sean Lennon.
Sean Lennon, good example.
Oh, John Lennon's son.
Julian Lennon, actually.
Julian. and
I don't
Sean.
know about them. Tell me more about them.
And we're out.
Be right back. Put it on TV show themes.
So are we cutting off?
No. That's you're making a joke. That's like on a talk
That's
show.
like, I did that on purpose.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
a timer thing.
Well, one of the things is with Sean or Julian Lennon, won't nobody listen to their music.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah,
Julian Lennon got it worse. Did he not, Sean? Sean Art.
I never heard of them.
Exactly. You
But
never
I'm
heard
70
of them.
years old, so I don't follow all this.
Well, no, they came out like maybe 20 years ago.
No, what happened was this. Julian Lennon started, John died in 80, excuse me. Julian wanted to start doing music. And he did an album in 82, and he was doing the echoing thing that John Lennon was doing, and he sounded just like him. It'd be like, you gotta sound, okay. Paul McCartney went over there and bitched him out. He's like, hey, you gotta quit ripping your dad. I mean, he really got on his ass. He told him off real bad. And he's like, what am I gonna do? I look like him. I sound like him. I'm fucked, basically. And so he kind of gave up the whole music I mean, he didn't really get into it because no matter where he goes, not even if he sells 1 million records, he'll always be known as John Lennon's son. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Same guy goes with the dude from the Wallflowers, Bob Dylan's son.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, that would, you know,
Yeah, I'm not aware of him either.
Bob Dylan's got a son,
Uh-huh.
and he's in the Wallflowers. And
Called the Wallflowers.
I can't remember, does he look a lot like Dylan?
Yeah, he looks just like a younger Dylan.
And so, you know, wherever he goes, he's going to be known as, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I thought we were going to talk about
Anyway.
why we love being American.
Why do we love being Americans?
Okay, we love being American because we can talk about all this. We have freedom of speech.
Damn straight.
And, you know, just because you were born rich or famous or in a military family, and like Patton had a son too.
What do you
Patton.
What do you specifically like about being an American?
I like
Do you like being able to do your own
being
work,
here. Yeah,
doing your own everything?
yeah. Freedom of speech and freedom of, well, I love the teaching of the inner Christ. I'm a minister with.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion.
Religion.
And America and our spiritual heritage,
God and country.
the spiritual nature of ourselves
Okay, hold on that. Art, what do you like being
are
about?
together. Are
Well,
one.
I'm digging what Richard has to say.
You were saying
I mean, because America has a spiritual purpose. Because
Yeah.
America is more than, you know, a country or politics, or because God, the Creator, behind all this, has a purpose to America. And I feel the new age, let's call it the new age of enlightenment.
and we're not politically
We could
correct.
call
so
it
we'll talk
the age
about
of
God. If we want
Aquarius.
to talk about God, we'll talk about God on the show. We're not politically correct. We're gonna-
Well, okay, how about the age of Aquarius? This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That was a song back in '69.
This is the dawning.
well, actually, we ended one of the shows with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
But anyway, so America is God's idea through man to help man be free, and you can't talk about freedom without talking about God. Because somehow when we feel that freedom, we're tuning into a spiritual part of ourselves.
True.
We are.
True.
Yeah. And so America, freedom, God, spirituality, I mean, it's an attitude. And when we were watching this Fox special last night on TV,
You guys
I
are
said-
happy.
I said, you know, I'm just seeing the Christ in everybody. And sometimes people will say that because they see the beauty and the love and the peace and the joy and the spiritual nature of people coming out.
Arthur, what'd you
You know?
see in that program?
I saw freedom of speech.
All right.
I saw a bunch of people that were given opportunities and took their opportunities. And America is a place of opportunities. That's what America is all about. That's what the difference of America is to Russia.
That's right. And
You
China.
have endless amounts of opportunities here in the United States. But my favorite thing about being an American is freedom of speech. I support freedom of speech 110%. I mean, I love saying what's on my mind. I mean, there are points in time, like I said, I use vulgar language. And I think that's one of the primary things what freedom of speech protects,
Yeah.
is vulgar language. I mean, we got this whole concept of politically correctness now.
We overdosed on the politically correctness. This country did.
It's overdosed, but at the same time, there's some people that aren't politically correct, and we're in that. I mean, and it's free. I don't know.
We're not.
I love America. I've defended the country. I've still got my oath to defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic, and got my eye on you, Canada.
Yeah.
We don't know what you're doing up there up north. What you doing up there with your boats and round bacon? But anyway, I mean, and I guess America is love, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love America because this is the only country that I can be down on my luck like I am now, but yet still be blessed by a lot of things. And a lot of people, if I was in India, I'd be really screwed right now. You know? I mean, it's love, it's friends, and I don't care how much any other group tries to say that we're falling apart or we're going to die or that everything is just going to mass hysteria. I know that the American spirit will endure and we'll get through.
Amen.
That's what I think. So all the things that they want to do that's enforce on their belief systems from marriage to blah, I'm not going to even get into all of it, but all the shit. I think that we're still resilient. That's what made us so badass, and that's what made us win wars and bring peace and bring a lot of things. And I think the American spirit can't get broken. So what I missed this show they watched, so what was great about it was you guys saw the America that you fell in love with as children, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, the America you knew or remembered, loved, or whatever, you saw the good things. It wasn't like, no praying today and that sort of shit. You guys saw true, just good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, people loving America, man. It was a love fest.
So no matter who gripes about last night's show that they watched, I'm sure there's already people on Twitter going, oh, that's not accurate, or that's not right, or, hey, you know what, fuck you to those people.
I don't know, the one thing that did, well, I don't know, I said my one thing. I just thought of Fortunate Sons.
Yeah. Well, it's good to bring up things because, let's face it, I'm not always in a high state of consciousness, but America is about living in a high state of consciousness. I mean, the kingdom of God on earth is a high state of consciousness to me. That's what we teach. And heaven and hell are our consciousness, and we have to, work on that and think about that. But America means really the future of the world.
Is us.
The American ideals of freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
We set the standards
Freedom of
for
the
the rest of the world. We're light years away from, look at us. We're light years ahead of a lot of places, man.
And people look to America for freedom. People want freedom because God and America and freedom and spirituality, you can't
what's such
separate
a
them.
trip about all this, too?
America's a leader.
Yeah, what's such a trip about this, too? Countries look to us,
Yeah.
that are a couple thousand years old, and we're only 238 years old. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Think about starting out, first 100 years. Just go back, 100 years prior to that.
Yeah.
Settlers, and, damn.
Can I talk about something about my ancestry?
Go on it, yeah.
Like Musil, my last name is Bohemian or Czechoslovakian. And Grandpa Musil came over here in 1886. And he was 10 years old. Came over from Czechoslovakia with his family. And his father came over and mother. But one of his uncles had come over earlier in the 1870s. And he had settled here. But his uncle had been in the drafted into the Austrian army. The Habsburgs were the controlling dynasty in that part of the world at that time. And,
Holy Roman Empire.
Well, the Habsburgs were, I don't think you'd call them, maybe they were part of that. I don't know.
Okay,
but
so,
the Habsburg, the story was,
okay.
Well, Uncle Vincent never had any kids because, let's see, a lot of times when they draft the boys, well, he was a Protestant too, and I think there was a little prejudice because they were more like Catholics. They were more Catholic. They would make, what would you call them, a eunuch out of the soldiers.
What?
Cut their balls off.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Uncle
Vincent. This was a story that was...
Did they castrate Uncle Vincent?
Well, this is what everybody kind of always said. They didn't walk around saying, It wasn't said real loudly in the family, but Uncle Vincent, he had been a soldier with the army, with the Habsburgs.
Okay.
And they were Protestants.
So you had...
So the story was then, my grandpa's father, who was the same generation as Uncle Vincent.
Yes, yes.
His father, which would make him my great-grandfather, I guess.
Okay. So
He said, look, my boys are going to have something better they're going to go to America. So Uncle Vincent, Uncle Frank, Uncle Joseph, which was my great-grandfather.
Where your middle name comes from, right?
Yeah, and my grandpa was named Joseph too. But anyway, they all went to America. But there were things in Europe. The point is, there are things in Europe where they did not have freedom that we have. I mean, you were not just drafted, but sometimes you were, you know,
Had your
fixed
balls
up.
cut off.
Yeah, this is.
Did you have an aunt and
This is
uncle?
bad.
Okay, so yeah, so
So anyway, so Uncle Vincent never had any kids, but this was the story. And then on my mom's side of the family, the Tolmans came over and they settled in Kansas in 1857, 3 years after Kansas became a territory. It wasn't a state yet.
okay, so they're old G.
And they were, now, the Tolman, Joe Tolman was my great-grandpa. He was like the younger one. He was like 40-something. But Jacques Tolman, his dad, who was about 60 when they came over.
Jacques?
Jacques.
Yeah, you got French in you.
Jacques. It was French.
Yeah, yeah.
Tolman. French. He was the son, he was actually a son of a duke.
Okay.
So
you've
seen the movie Braveheart, where
I have not seen Braveheart.
well, see the dukes and the kings would take, they called it the first night privilege.
They'll bang your wife.
Yeah, yeah.
Say you and your wife are going to get married.
They can bang
tomorrow.
your wife before you do.
The duke rides by on his horse and he says, you know, you have a very beautiful wife. You're going to get married tomorrow.
Screw her
But
around.
so you won't be able to spend your bridal night with your wife. She's going to be with me.
Oh, that's hard. That's cold-blooded shit.
Well, Braveheart, they get into that. You've seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen Braveheart.
But this
Yeah,
was a
Braveheart,
fact of life in Europe.
Okay. Well, that's
Anyway,
that
so-
shit didn't go over good here.
So my great-grandpa was, his real father was a duke.
Okay. So
He wasn't a Tolman.
Was he banging brides to be or?
No, he was the offspring.
Oh. Uh-oh.
He was the offspring of the duke.
Okay.
So you know, he kind of wanted to get out of Europe too.
That horse shit
Because there was
going
stuff going on there that we don't talk about too much. But see, in America, the New Age really started in 1776 when America was born.
Okay.
America was created. Because this sent shockwaves through all the kings and dictators and czars and all the people of power throughout the world. You know, George Washington gave it up after 2 terms.
Okay, so Richard.
And this sent shockwaves to them because to them the power was to dominate the people.
Yeah.
And so America is about freedom.
Okay. I wanted to get into
So anyway, so this is a little history about my family, and certain forces were at work to bring people here for freedom, religious freedom,
Okay.
and other freedoms. And
You're gonna do a song soon, but I want to talk to Art real quick. Art. Okay, so this is our 50th episode, all right? I want to talk to both of you guys, especially you, Arthur. Let's go back, all right? A few episodes right now. Well, if you could think of one, what was one of your favorite episodes we did?
I don't remember not one.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. No, I mean, you don't remember. Well, come on. What about the plane? What about St. Patrick's Day? I mean, come on, man.
My favorite thing is when we paired up
Just the openings?
Sonic Youth with
Teenage Riot.
Teenage Riot. Teenage Riot with One Floor of the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, I missed doing our openings, but we had some trouble with that. And one of my favorite episodes probably had to have been, I like the one where we started out with the passenger, our 20th episode actually. I liked our 20th episode. I liked our, I don't know, some were good, some were like, oh God, why did we film that day, you know?
I wonder why we're filming today.
Well, this is our 50th
well, it's
episode.
the 4th of July, man.
4th of July, 50th episode, that's why we're filming today. And it's cool when we get like, you know, certain guests on here that we never thought we would have or anything. That's one cool thing, you know. So, Richard, what did you do? You've been on a few times. Did you like your first intro on our show, or which one did you like the best?
Oh, when you played that song about Vietnam or something?
Yeah, did you like that? What was your
Yeah,
best?
yeah,
What was
but
your
you
best
don't
one?
do that anymore. You can't have
No,
TV
but
stuff.
what was your best memory?
Well, I like it when I sing songs.
And speaking of singing a song, let's have Rich sing a song right now.
And we're all going to sing.
So-
We're all going to sing America the Beautiful.
Not really a spectacular 50th episode, but one enough to where we're happy with it. I mean, I don't know. Art, are you okay?
What are you
Will you
keep
get-
asking me what I'm okay for?
Just all-
And we're not having fun. We're not
We're not
telling
having any
jokes.
fun?
We're too serious today.
Well, was
Well,
that
let's not be
serious?
serious.
Okay,
Let's
that
not-
stuff I told about my ancestors.
yeah,
that
that's
was too
serious shit right there, man.
Well, look it. There were reasons people came to America, man.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's start.
You know?
Let's get it going.
Freedom.
All right.
Freedom.
Beef
Freedom.
on the block. Here it is. Okay.
Freedom.
So, all right.
Look,
So what's
look, my family has been in America since before America was United States of America.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know, man.
Well, let's talk about what's going on around here lately.
You want to talk about your family a little bit?
Not really.
Let's talk about current
Tell-
events. Maybe the medium can get the door to shut.
Tell us about your family that sold the boats to Washington so we could cross the Delaware.
One of my, not all the boats. Just
Hey,
some
medium.
boats, some boats. I don't know.
Jet,
Anyway,
can you get the door?
I was told as a little kid, one of my relatives. See, I got relatives that that span all over the place. Anyway, one of my relatives was a Mormon, and she decided to track down our family tree. And so she told us one day, this is one of the stories that she told us, is that like my family tree goes all the way back. I'm gonna have to do the one for the black part of my family, but the white part of my family has been done. We've got like shields and shit like that, like family crescents and all this. I don't know.
Coats of arms.
Coat of arms.
Yeah.
Like I'm Scotch Irish and African American and Native American. So this is the only country where you can find somebody like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
This is the only country you can find somebody like me, and I feel like very American. Like you can't
And
get.
you're
this.
proud of that, right?
Hell yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm
You
proud
don't
of
like,
being
you don't like it
American.
when you're called African American or any of that bullshit.
I'm a fucking American, man.
Yeah, you
you
get
look
that.
at my shit. It says Native American. I made sure every time I fill out anything now, I put Native American.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is the only place where you can find an American. You can find somebody like me. Like Barack Obama isn't Native American, but I don't know. He's cool. He's like Irish and black, which I'm down with.
Irish
that.
and black.
Huh?
That's cool.
I don't know.
So what's going on around the house now? Okay, you got back from your trip.
No, we're gonna hear a song now. This is around the house shit.
Yeah, well, I
Well,
was talking about solar panels. And
There's
all
always
that.
stuff to do. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting up solar panels.
All right,
Not
well,
a done deal
that'll be
yet.
another show. We're gonna do some music right now.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you. This is everybody can sing along. I need my music stand though, unless you're gonna hold it for me.
I'll hold it for you.
Okay. But I'd kind of rather have
All right.
a stand if I could.
Pinky
look-
guest here.
Anyway. Well, you know, a divine science minister once
How's this?
said, that's fine. I was visiting with her and she said, well, you know, talking about all the different races, she said, well, God became many, but now the many are becoming one. Because
We're human. There's only one race.
people come together and they fall in love and they multiply and
Break your heart and go to Florida for the 4th of July weekend.
yeah, but I mean, see,
Well, Richard, you're gonna block it. Okay, so let's.
God doesn't have a race, okay?
No, he doesn't.
Love doesn't have a race, and I know a lot of people don't like this. They want to keep their races, and that's fine. But sometimes races kind of merge.
All right, so let's say.
And I'm not
What?
saying it's, you know. Anyway, but America, love, peace, that's not a race. All that God isn't a race.
Okay.
Abundance, love,
Have
peace,
you've done this before, so let's
intelligence. Okay. Okay, we're going to sing America the Beautiful. And we're inviting everybody at home to sing along with us. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plain.
America!
America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrims' feet, whose stern impassions rest, a thoroughfare for freedom clean across the wilderness. America, America, God made thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful for patriotry that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm out of here.
50. You think we do another 50?
So,
I don't know.
you don't think so?
I don't know.
Are you getting uninspired? What?
No, man. I got shit to do.
More
college,
episodes?
man.
More than more episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, you like going back to college?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't
Well,
know.
you know, you can always take a
I'm
break.
going to go to college and get back into acting.
This is the thing. We have freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice.
That's what we got.
This is what we have. If you realize you have freedom of choice, you got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gone. Cheers to
So-
David, Dan, all those who followed us the last 50 episodes, all those of you who showed support to us. For me and Art and Reverend Richard, Art, you want us to give you shout outs to some people?
No, not today.
JJ?
I'm gonna wait for the 100th episode. See, there you go. Give him a shout out.
There you go. So,
Hey,
I wanted to say something.
He's in my circle too. I'm allowed to say hi.
I wanted to say
You
something.
want to say anything to anybody?
We have freedom in America because
Jeanette the medium is off camera, but Jeanette, we love
Yeah, I
having.
would really like the key to the gate.
Okay, we loved having Jeanette on the show.
the gate.
Yeah,
Wanna come
because
around?
we're sweating here. We need to get in the backyard.
We're done.
Okay,
Jeanette,
good.
Jeanette's always.
Okay.
Jeanette's Hold always- on.
God bless our troops.
God bless everybody.
We're free because we got the strongest
50 more.
military in the world. Amen.